Don Carpenter on News Talk 1270 KIML. Call Don right now, 682-1270.
News Talk 1270 KIML. Don Carpenter Show. Welcome back to the program, 6:30. And we have Chris Brindle joining us. Good morning.
Morning. What's going on, DC?
Oh, okay. So did you watch the Pro Bowl?
No.
Okay.
I forgot it was on.
Well, you know, I don't even know what network it was on. I guess it was on ESPN. It was on ESPN.
Yeah.
So no, I didn't watch the Pro Bowl either. Although I will say, it looks like it wasn't bad. I mean, it was 32-28. Michael Irvin's team beat Chris Carter's team. It actually looks like it was a kind of a fun game to watch. I mean, there were some interceptions. There were a couple sacks. They actually played defense. And they had a sellout crowd. I mean, they sold 63,000 tickets. So, hey, maybe this fantasy draft Pro Bowl thing, maybe that'll make a difference. I don't know.
Oh.
I mean, I'm sure the tickets were probably really cheap, which is good. That's, gets people that aren't able to go to the Super Bowl a chance to see something different. And it's not in Hawaii. I mean, the Hawaii crowds are always terrible because it's Hawaii. There's a million other things to do. People that like football aren't going to pay to go to Hawaii just to watch a football game, especially the Pro Bowl. So maybe they got something going with it. I think the NHL, their All-Star game, they were doing skills competitions and all kinds of stuff. It looked pretty cool. So maybe they just need to bring more of that kind of stuff in, and maybe they'll have something worth watching. We'll see what the ratings look like. The crowd being sellout would be all right, but if the ratings are bad, they'll probably have to do something. It's week before Super Bowl. What can you do?
Well, I mean, it was tough luck for the Pro Bowl at my place because a Modern Family marathon was on, and then also I was flipping back and forth between Modern Family and Total Divas. So I saw the WWE Divas on it. So, bad luck for the Super Bowl. I mean, I can't have a third one in the rotation. So I can only flip back between two shows.
Yeah.
So I'll forget about the third show. That's what I learned early in my life. So it was between Modern Family and Total Divas. So, the Pro Bowl way down on the list.
It's funny you mentioned Total Divas because and for those that don't know, it's a reality show on E! Network. It follows some female WWE wrestlers and their significant others around. It's your regular reality show where they do scripted things. Oh, we'll go shopping and we'll have an argument, or they have it's supposed to be following these people around in their regular lives plus their lives at work, which happen to be as professional wrestlers. Well, I mean, you can call them. I mean, technically they're professional wrestlers. I wouldn't call what some of them do wrestling, but it's funny that was on last night against one of the big wrestling events of the year. There's 4 or 5 big ones every year. Last night was a Royal Rumble, and I'll just say, and this actually might make mainstream news today. I already saw Time did an article about this. Time magazine has already done an article about the reaction of the fans.
Uh-oh.
See, well, about a year ago, the WWE launched their own network. It's available online, and you can use a Roku or a Kindle streaming box or one of those streaming things. Xbox Live, I think, has it. PlayStation. You can stream it to your TV in HD. It really is. I mean, it's a great deal. I mean, it used to be every month they would have a pay-per-view event. It would be $40, and then WrestleMania is, I think, $50, or in HD it was $65. So I mean, it was ridiculously expensive. For $10 a month, you get everything. You get, and plus thousands and thousands of hours of catalogs stuff and original programming. It really is a good deal if you like this sort of thing. Well, last night their big event went exactly as a lot of people expected. It went exactly as I expected. The guy that won is related to The Rock. It seems to be the best job in the world. Seems to be somehow to get into that family, to be related to The Rock. And the fans, they picked the wrong city to first. They picked the wrong city to try to shove someone down your throat. I mean, it was the crowd was brutal. And now this is the city of Rocky, and they were chanting for the Russian character. I mean, they the Russian guy, Rusev. They were chanting for Rusev at the end. in Rocky's hometown against an all-American guy. I mean, he's just terrible. And as soon as it stopped, as soon as the event was over, people were canceling their subscription to the network.
Yeah,
the cancellations crashed the server for the network.
That's incredible. And you know something? It all started with the Daniel Bryan getting eliminated so early.
Oh yeah.
That's what I think. That was the catalyst to everything, because that angered everybody. People want him to win. They want him to succeed. He's just come back from an injury. He to me was a logical pick to win it.
Yeah. Well, and they did the same thing last year. Everybody wanted Daniel Bryan to win last year, and he wasn't even in last year. And somehow they managed to figure out a storyline so he could get into the main event at WrestleMania. And he won, and then he had to take some time off for a broken neck. A real broken neck, by the way. So,
and I was looking for, I thought it would end up being a David versus Goliath WrestleMania match between Lesnar and Bryan. But now it looks like it probably won't happen.
No.
It might now, though.
I have no idea what they do with this, because now they're stuck with a guy, Brock Lesnar, who is tired of the fake wrestling. He wants to go back to UFC now that he's fully healthy, because when he fought in UFC, he wasn't fully healthy. He wants to go back and see if he can actually compete. He was UFC heavyweight champion at one point. And he wants to go back to that. More money in that too. I mean, it's just the way it is. So his contract is up right around the beginning of April. And they're stuck with him and a guy that their paying customers hate. And it's not like they hate him because he's a bad guy. I mean, for those that are familiar with the way wrestling works, I mean, you have to have bad guys. Back in the old days, you'd have the Iron Sheik. People would pay to go see the Iron Sheik get beat up.
Right.
People aren't going to pay to see this guy get beat up. They hate him because they hate him, because he's terrible. The Iron Sheik was good at what he did because he made you want to hate him. This Roman Reigns guy, he's just terrible. People don't like him because he can't talk, he can't wrestle. It's just it's a bad situation. You watch their stock price this day. It's a publicly traded company. Watch their stock price this day. It's going to tank.
And you know what? People are they're more aware, it seems like to me. They recognize when somebody's not good on the mic. You know what I mean? It's not just about how big you are, how much muscle you have, your long flowing hair. It's not just about that anymore.
Yeah.
People want somebody that can do everything. That's why they love CM Punk so much. He wasn't just a great wrestler. He could compel you behind the mic. And they like those kind of guys. Daniel Bryan's the same way. He's probably the best wrestler, technically, in the WWE. Right. Daniel Bryan is. He can also talk. He also compels people. And he's done it as a heel, and he's done it as a good guy. People respect that. That's why they like him so much. And the WWE for years have always pushed the bigger guys, even though they're not that compelling. And you know what's funny? The storyline not too long when Daniel Bryan was healthy between him and Triple H and the Authority or whatever.
Yeah,
it was a storyline, but at the same time, there's a lot of truth to it.
Yeah, and for maybe you guys watched wrestling back in the '80s and where they didn't admit it was fake. They admit it's fake now. So a lot of the stories that they put forth are stories that are based in some kind of real life thing.
Right.
And they try to blur the line as much as they can. And it is hard. I mean, I'll admit it's hard to do that when your fans show up knowing that this is not a real sporting event. You have to treat that differently than if it were, back in the old days where you didn't admit that it was fake. When the crowd shows up and they know a certain guy is going to win, you have to do something. You either have to make them want that guy to win, or you have to make them cheer for somebody else to beat him and make him a bad guy. But the problem is this isn't a bad guy. And look, he's probably a really nice guy in real life, but he's terrible. I mean, and the fans are so savvy at this point. They know a guy that's clumsy, that can't put forth a thought when he has to give an interview, that kind of stuff. They know it when they see that, and it's just like any other TV show. Would you watch Batman if all Batman had to fight were just second-rate bank robbers? You never got to see the Joker,
right?
Or even worse, you go to watch Batman, and Batgirl shows up, and she's the one fighting all the crime, and you never see Batman,
right? Or
Batman gets shot in the first 5 minutes of the show, and he's done.
Yeah, and the crowd, I think the other reason they're sick of, they've had John Cena shoved down their throat for 15 years.
Yeah.
And they're sick of that. And they don't want a repeat of that. John Cena's way better behind the mic than a Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
But as far as clumsiness in the ring, I mean, John Cena's pretty low if you're talking technical skills wrestling. Yet he's a 15-time world champion.
Yeah. Well,
they don't like that.
I will say the one thing about Cena. Cena is a good corporate face of the company because he does all these Make-A-Wish Foundation things. He sells merchandise to kids. Plus, he earned the spot that he had. He earned the spot that he had. So I have no problem, with them bringing John Cena. I'd rather see Cena at WrestleMania than this guy.
Oh, I wouldn't. John Cena, I don't see how he's won the fact that he's a 15-time world champion makes me sick to my stomach.
Oh, well,
absolutely ridiculous.
That's a story for another day. They've devalued championships. I mean, they don't mean anything anymore.
They devalued him, but mostly because it's John Cena.
Yeah. Well, it has a lot to do with it.
I don't have a problem with the Randy Orton's 11-time championship. He's one of the best technical wrestlers in the game. He's always been compelling. He's one of the best heels of all time. I don't have a problem with that. Even Triple H was one of the best heels of all time.
Oh, well, yeah. He and those guys earned their spots.
But you're right. They've devalued the title a little bit. But the fact that, John Cena, come on.
I'm just going to tell you, just watch the stock price today. I think the stock market opens at 7 our time.
Well, it'll be interesting to see.
It's going to tank today. People are going to be, because the main people that invest in this, besides mutual funds, are fans, and they are mad. They're steaming mad.
That's what makes WWE cool, is the fact that fans do have a say-so. In WWE, they're, you know what? They have kind of a reputation that they're arrogant and they don't care about the fans, but they really do. They'll make the necessary change. Yeah, they'll try, and they'll try to make the necessary changes. And
now they're going to go into panic mode and try to change things again. So,
which could make things more interesting.
The 52-week range on this stock. I mean, this stock's been all over the place. At one point in the past 52 weeks, it's been $32. The lowest is $9.82. Right now, it's at $10.52. So it's almost at a year low, and it'll go below $9 today. That would be my guess.
Probably so.
Okay, I know it's not real sports, but that's what you get this morning.
Let's not spoil that for me, DC.
Well,
it's real.
Well, yeah, it's still real to me.
Wrestling.
It's still real to me, damn it. I love that. I love that video. That's one of the best. That's one of the best. It really does make for good entertainment. And I got to sit and watch with someone that never watches wrestling last night.
That was fun.
The good news is this failed Roman Reigns experiment will be over in a couple months.
Probably. So.
And I can go to WrestleMania in Dallas next year and see something good. What do we have going on in sports?
Cowboy basketball and Panther basketball.
That was a huge win on Saturday.
Yeah, a big one. And
Yeah.
all of a sudden, now you're not talking about winning the Mountain West and making the tournament. They could be an at-large with the way they're playing if they keep going.
Nice. Okay, we'll see you in an hour. News Talk 1270, KIML.
Please remain seated until the show comes to a complete stop. Thank you. Carry on.
Don Carpenter on News Talk 1270, KIML. KIML.